Builder. Oto 3 świetne funkcje, które zwiększą wydajność
How you are doing? Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing? If you are just joining the live, type shopping list in the comment. Type shopping list. Today we are going to be talking about we're going to be talking about what do you want to buy in 2026. What would you like to buy? Be realistic. Nobody calls something your papa never even buy. Be realistic, please. What would you like to buy in 2026? What is that thing that you are like, if I am able to buy this thing by the end of 2026, I'm happy? What is that thing? Let me know. Let me know. What is that thing you would like to buy in 2026? What is that thing that you see that by the end of 2026, if you're able to buy it, you are happy? You know, I have some few things in my own list of 2025, and out of the three major things, I would say I was able to achieve 2, but I wasn't able to achieve 1 for 2025. And that thing I didn't achieve in 2025, I'm bringing it over 2026. But I'll still tell you guys, we are just starting. I'll still tell you guys my own 2025 shopping list and my 2026 shopping list. Alright? So, just let me know. What are the things you would love to buy in 2026? For me, I would love to buy a new Samsung phone. Now, that hotel, I always say, be specific. Victor, be specific. New Samsung phone, which phone exactly? Be specific. Let me tell you guys a story. While we're here, let me tell you guys a story. Okay? Let me pause the music. Let me tell you guys a story. This thing happened, a bit while ago, but it's just like yesterday in my memory. Pay close attention. You will learn something. Pay close attention. So, are you listening? If you are listening to my story, type story. Let me see. It's very important. It's very important. Very important. If you want to hear my story, I want to tell you guys a particular story of what happened to me in 20. At the end of the day, they say you want to get your mom a good clothing store, a land and a laptop. This is your list. Well, who knows how much would that cost? Anyways, if you guys are interested to hear my story, I want to tell you guys a story. If you're interested in hearing the story, let me know. And Naija Folktale Samsung S22 Ultra is currently 580,000. When I bought mine, it was 750. It's currently 580,000. So it's probably possible for you in 2026. It's possible for you. So, what made me remember this story is because of what Naija Folktale wrote here. Do you get? He said he wants to buy a new Samsung phone. Now, he was almost close to being specific, but he was not specific. Now, let me tell you guys a story of What happened to me in 2022? Christmas 2022. Are you listening? So in 2022 Christmas, I remember vividly. No, it was January 2023. So January 2023, that was when this was happening, because it was my uncle's burial. We went for my uncle's burial, right? So went to my mom's side for my uncle's burial, and then we, of course, when you go for a burial, if you're a good family member, you're supposed to start from where they carry the person from the mortuary and then to his or her village, so after the entire morning service, going to church, carrying the person from mortuary to the village and the rest of them, I was now sitting in my grandfather's compound, right, with my siblings. It's a family house now. It's not like a place we go there. It's not a place we go and stay. We just went for that day and we came back that day also. We didn't sleep there or anything like that, right? Pay close attention. This is very important. The story is getting to the main part. So while we were there, after the whole morning burial service, even going to church and the rest of them, I was sitting in the compound with my siblings. And then, how many of you know Samsung S10? Samsung S10. It was a very big dream of mine to buy a Samsung S10. As at 2022, in fact, January 2023, January 2023 was like a dream of mine to buy a Samsung S10. How much is S10 now? 200 and something K. Shit, can buy like at least 8 a month. Anyways, back to the story. So it was a very big dream of mine to buy a Samsung Galaxy S10, right? Notification is too much. It was a very big dream of mine to buy a Samsung Galaxy S10 that year, 2023. And do you know what I did? I took a picture of Samsung Galaxy S10 and put it as my screensaver in my phone. I was using an Infinix that time, Infinix Hot 10 Play, very cheap as Infinix phone, right? So I took my Samsung S10. I took a picture of Samsung S10. Like I got a picture of Samsung S10 on Google, but then I used it as a screensaver, as a lock screen on my phone. That was one of the biggest things I wanted to buy in 2023, right? And here is where the funny part comes in. So while we were there, remember I told you I was sitting in the compound after the whole burial service for my uncle. I was sitting in the compound with my siblings, not cousins, my direct siblings. And while we were there, one of my siblings, my elder sister, she saw the Samsung S10 that I put as screensaver on my phone. She saw the Samsung S10 I used as screensaver. I put it as lock screen now. Like now, you see what's on my lock screen. This is my Go, right? So my Go is always on lock screen, right? So that time, I carried the Samsung S10 where I find for Google, put the picture on the lock screen, and then my sibling saw it, my sister saw it, and she started laughing at me, and she told others, and they started laughing at me. They were laughing at me like, bro, cut your code according to your side, that kind of thing. Because as at that time, I was very broke. As of December 2022, I was at least broke, but I would call broke. You understand? I was in a rubbish Infinix phone. Nothing much really going on for me, and I want to buy a Samsung S10. Now it's looking like a small thing, but it wasn't that time. It wasn't, right? And they saw it. They were like, their reaction was like, bro, this is like almost like it's ridiculous. Why even it passed your level? Do you understand that kind of thing? And they laughed at me, and she showed my other of my siblings. She showed them. The rest of my siblings, they also laughed at me, and I laughed at myself too. That's one thing about me. Like I wouldn't laugh at myself, but it won't stop me from doing what I want to do. I'll still do it. I'll even be the first person to doubt myself. I'll be the person to say, bro, I'm not sure you can achieve this one, but I'll still go ahead and do it. So I'm like, some people think I'm very positive or something. I'm not so positive. I'm very pessimistic. I'll tell you will fail, but you should still go ahead and prove me wrong. That's the mindset. Do you get? So they laughed at me, I laughed at myself. Well, fast forward around June 2023, I was able to buy a Samsung LAz S10 for myself. Right? It was a big deal for me. It was one of the best phones I've ever used that time, up to that time. You know, I'm talking about 2023. I'm seeing 2023. So fast forward to June. This was happening around 5th January 2023. You know, they laughed at me for having Samsung S10 on my lock screen. They laughed at me for having Samsung S10 on my lock screen on the 5th of January 2023. And then fast forward to June 2023, I was able to buy myself a Samsung S10. That was when I started making somewhere around 6 figures monthly, right? I started getting a lot of flyer design gigs, and I also landed my first 6-figure client, right? So I was able to buy a Samsung S10 phone, right? And that is very nice. It was very sweet. You know, I think I was more happy when I bought my S10 than when I bought my S22 Ultra. Why? Because that my S10 was the first sleek phone I've ever used. To me it was like, this is it. The camera, everything is just it. Everything is just it. I didn't have anything to complain about with that phone, bro. You know, even now remembering it, like I'm so, grateful, I guess. And then fast forward to today. This was happening in 2023, and this is already 2025. How many years ago? 2 years ago. I have 4 Samsung phones, and I will skip the part. But I'll still come to that part. Fast forward to today, I have 4 Samsung phones. Like, phone doesn't even matter to me anymore. Like, phone doesn't shake me anymore. If I buy a new phone today, I will be happy for 2 days, and that will be it. I won't care again. My major focus now is car. It's car. That's my level now. I don't pass phone level, for me at least. Right? I don't pass phone level. Do you get? Who is this person saying you are beautiful? All these people who just enjoy my life randomly. I know you are not in the community. I just YouTube algorithm. God just bring you to my life. Anyways, let me continue. So are you guys listening? So what is the moral lesson here? The moral lesson is, whatever you want, be specific with it. So why am I saying this? It's because of Niger Folktale, Victor, that said he wants a new Samsung phone. I'm like, no, be specific. Is it S10? Is it Note 8? Is it Note 10? Is it S22 Ultra? As the case may be. Do you get? Then there was a part I skipped. In that same 2023, Abi? Yeah, in that same 2023, listen guys, somebody say he wants to buy Samsung Note 10 Plus. I'm not using my Note 10 Plus to do this live section. Maybe I'll give you my own when I buy my Z Fold. Olufemi, I have a Note 10 Plus, I have S22 Ultra, I have S9 Plus, and then my S10 is in my former house because I'm in my new apartment. Some of you don't know this, but I moved to a new apartment, and that was one of my wish lists for that was one of my wish lists for 2025, to move to a new apartment, and I achieved that. I achieved that around middle of 2025. I achieved that. And one of my second wish lists, I was not able to achieve it, but I'll still tell you guys as we go on the live session. I'll still tell you guys my own shopping list. You understand? For last year, for 2025 and 2026. John say, I want to buy my Coach Capisol. That would be really nice, huh? That would be really nice. That would be really nice. Right? A plot twist I forgot to tell you guys in that my story of 2023 is that so around October, remember I bought my S10 around June 2023. I bought my first S10, I bought June or May, around that figure. I bought my S10, right? And I was so happy, my Samsung S10. And then around October 2023, it was stolen. The S10 was stolen. The Infinix I was even using was also stolen. So my 2 phones was just stolen in October 2023. It's crazy. I have a lot of stories to tell, guy, and I believe other people, almost all of us here, have a lot of stories to tell. And the more you advance in life, the more you grow, the more crazier the story gets, and the more higher the story gets. Do you understand? The more hilarious it gets. So picture this. In January 2023, I had a goal to buy S10, my Samsung S10. I had a goal to buy Samsung S10, and I carried a picture from Google, put in my screensaver. My siblings laughed at me, and then in June or May 2023, I was able to buy my Samsung S10. And then in October 2023, I was robbed. And they stole the S10 and the Infinix. So fast forward to like 10 months later, I was phoneless. Do you understand? And guess what I did? Instead of backing down, because that time I was making 6 figures monthly. So instead of backing down, you know what I did? Because I bought S10 that time. When they stole down my S10 and my Infinix, you know what I did? I went and buy S10 Plus. Do you get? This is why I will tell you guys, sometimes it will look like everything is working against you. Because it was crazy for me that year. And it's still crazy for me this year, guys. It has never been easy, I'm not gonna lie. It will not get easy. It's you that will get better. That's one of the major things I learned. The journey doesn't get easier. It's you that will get better. You become more used to it. Do you understand? So they stole my S10, and instead of backing down, I decided to bounce back with S10 Plus, Samsung S10 Plus. And guess what? Father Lord, I don't see things, bro. Sometimes you will be seeing some amount of difficulty. Go be like say village people just they rush you. You understand? John say in 1 year, yes, John, in 1 year. In 1 year. All this is happening in 1 year, 2023. So after they saw my S10, I was like, no, instead of backing down or going to a lesser phone, I'll walk to and nail, and I bought S10 Plus within like 2 weeks or so. Or 2 weeks. 1 week. I'm not even sure it used to complete 7 days. I bought S10 Plus after they stole my S10. You know, there's S10 and there's S10 Plus. So after they stole my S10, I bought S10 Plus. Right? Then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? After buying my S10 Plus, like 2 weeks later, I was pressing the phone, right? I was pressing my S10 Plus. 2 weeks later, I was pressing my S10 Plus, and the phone just went blank. It just black. I was trying to on it, on again. On again. Somebody saying God give me grace. I'm talking about my misery. They say God give you grace. This guy said, I was making 6 figures that time now. That time I've landed my first 6 figure client that was paying me around 150k monthly. So I was making 6 figures that time now. So it wasn't like much of a big deal, but it wasn't that much of a big deal. Do you get me? So after buying the S10 Plus, right? 2 weeks later, the phone just go blank. I know they see anything again. I try owning this phone no gree on. I try offing them, no gree off. I try them nothing. I was like, waiting be all this one. It never reach 30 where they steal my phone. I buy new one. Now this new one don't spoil. Phone where I buy new. I took it to where I bought it. They say it's the panel that I bought. They just gave me rubbish phone. The phone was good, but I know it's like Nigerian use or so. And they told me it was foreign used. Meanwhile, it's Nigerian used. So they told me it's panel that I bought. But I was like, how can phone where I never used to use panel go bomb? And then I now had to downgrade. Listen, my story never finished. And I had to downgrade to Samsung S8. Listen, Samsung what? S8. I downgraded to Samsung S8. But I quickly found out that Samsung S8 couldn't do what I want to be doing with my phone. It couldn't handle the heat, the pressure that I put into a phone. So I went back there and said I want S9 Plus, and I had to put some money on top of it to get what? Samsung S9 Plus. And that is the Samsung S9 Plus here, ladies and gentlemen. That is it here. Since 2023. since what? 2023. Life is like movie. John said too many twists. I swear. And you now, one day when you tell any of your story, you see that the twist was crazy. I don't know if it's as crazy as mine, but now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't like that for me that time. I wasn't even thinking about it like that. But it's now that I'm thinking about it like shit. All these things happened within a short period of time. So I now bought S9 Plus. After the S10 Plus spoiled, I bought S8. I collected the S8, but the S8 couldn't handle the pressure because now small phone now, and I decided to go for S9 Plus. That's how, ladies and gentlemen, I went from my almighty S10 to S9 Plus in 2023. Then if I fall to 2024, I bought S10 again. You get? Around beginning of 2024, I was able to buy another S10, and then which year did I buy S10 Ultra? Now that's in 2024. A lot of things happened though. So in 2024, I bought my S10. Listen, no, I might not tell the story anyway again. In 2024, I now bought another S10. So I ended my 2023 with S9 Plus. So let me give you the plot twist. In January of 2023, beginning 2023, I had S10 as my screensaver. I like S10. It is the best Samsung phone, the cheapest, and the best camera. It's just the best Samsung phone in between. Like if you don't get money, but you want a phone that can carry high intensity of work and still have a very good camera, S10, Samsung S10 is the roundabout. I don't know how to say it. I love S10, and I still have S10 now. That's why my phone is 4. I have S10, I have S9 Plus, S10, Note 10 Plus, and S22 Ultra. I have 4 phones, and by next year I'll buy a Z Fold, a Samsung Z Fold, but it's not even my next year shopping list. Why? Because I don't really care about that. I might even just buy camera instead. I don't know. Just having a fold phone would be nice. That's why. So listen, guys. Here's the plot twist. In January 2023, I collected picture from Google, S10 picture from Google, and put in my screensaver. And my sibling saw it and was laughing at me. Like say I did do pass myself, right? And then in June 2023, that's in 2023, I was able to buy myself a Samsung S10. Clap hand for Jesus, right? We clap hand for Jesus. We are rejoicing. Everything's going fine. And then in October 2023, they stole my fucking S10. Alongside with the nonsense Infinix phone I was even using, they stole it too. Imagine stealing your 2 phones at once. Right? Are you getting me? In October, they stole the S10 where I buy for June. And then I say, okay, when I don't steal my S10, you think, I don't like, staying on the floor. No matter how bad it gets, I just keep going, right? So I was like, you know what, I'm going to bounce back bigger. I was inspired by that B-Law story when he was arrested, and then after coming out from EFCC, he bought a bigger car. So I was like, I'll buy a bigger phone. You feel me? So I decided to go for what? S10 Plus. They stole my S10 in June. They stole my S10 in October. And that's in October, I decided to go for S10 Plus to bounce back. And then that S10 Plus, so what? 2 weeks later, the phone just go blank. The phone just spoil. They say it's panel, this one, that one. And then I ended up with S9 Plus. And this is the S9 Plus. I literally don't even use it for anything again. It's just on my table. Sometimes I'll keep it in the wardrobe. I literally don't use it for anything again. Right? And this is my S9 Plus. Should I continue my story on how I used to buy phone? In 2024, I bought 4 phones. Now, mind you, all these things was happening to me in 2023. And then in 2024, I bought 4 Samsung phones. Not for myself. 2 of them was for my team members, the people working for me, my team members. 2 of the Samsung phones was for my team members. Now, let me break it down for you guys, since some people are saying they're interested in the story. So, immediately, I started 2024 because I ended 2023 with S9 Plus. So, I started my 2024 with what? S9 Plus. Do you get? I started my 2024 with S9 Plus. Then, S9, I wish I had my S10 here. My S10 is not with me here. But anyways, it's my old house. I wish I had it here. So I will show you guys the entire 4 phones. But anyways, then in 2024, I began 2024 with S9 Plus. And then by May 2024, I bought a Samsung S10 again. Yes, I too like S10. So by May 2024, I bought a Samsung S10. And then by June 2024, I bought Samsung Note 8 for one of my team members. Note 8, no be like better phone. June 2024, I bought a what? Samsung Note 8. Are you with me? Are you with me? Note 10, I think this is my Note 10. I bought it this year. I'll tell you guys the reason why I bought this Note 10. Everything has a reason, sha. So in June 2024, in May 2024, I bought S10 for myself. Right? May, Abby? No. It's around March, April. Around March, April 2024, around my birthday, I bought Samsung S10 for myself again. And then in June of 2024, I bought Samsung Note 8 Plus. Not even Note 8, Note 8 Plus. I mean Note 8 Pro. For my team member, one of my employees. Right? And then around... I bought another Note 8 Plus for my team member, but I'm trying to find out the time. I think it was around October, November. So in October of 2024, I bought my S22 Ultra. Do you get? In October of 2024, I bought my S22 Ultra. And then I think around November or October again, I bought another Samsung Note 8 Plus for one of my team members, one of my employee, another one again. Right? And ladies and gentlemen, that was how I bought 4 phones in 2024. It's not crazy that 1 year ago I could barely afford the S10, and then the upper year 2024 I bought 4 phones. Now I told you guys that I have 4 phones, right? But I ended 2024 with 3 phones. I didn't have 4 phones in 2024. I had only 3 in 2024. Do you get? Then in 2025 another problem occurred. Listen carefully. Around March of February 2025, which is this year, my Samsung S22 Ultra, the screen spoiled. The phone screen spoiled. This is for people that say they want to buy a big phone next year. You go fee pay money for screen. So the phone screen spoiled, and they say the price they will use to repair it is 450,000. Are you with me? 450,000 to repair it. I was like, just to repair this phone, 450,000. I be 400,000. Is it not better for me to just buy a new phone? That was how I bought my Note 10 Plus. I don't get money. You can already flatter me for comment section. That was how I bought my Note 10 Plus. Right? I bought my Note 10 Plus 400k. Samsung Note 10 Plus. I bought it for 400k. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I was able to. Is why I now have 4 phones today. and I don't used to sell my phone. Like a lot of people, when they buy a new phone, they will sell the old one. In fact, for them to buy a new one, they will have to sell the old one. I don't do that. I will have that old one and I will buy a new one on top. I don't sell my phones. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So far, between 2024 and 2025, I have bought over 6 phones. And each of them, none of them is less than 300k. Think about that. Think what about that? Anyways, that's not the topic for today at all. It's just Victor. Where is Victor? His network is stopping him. It's just him that made me remember it. So that's why when I say that this year, are you listening? When I say that this year or next year, phone is not a problem for me. I believe I might not have, but I believe that I have passed the level of phone. Phone is not a problem for me anymore. If my phone has issue, I can always buy a new one. It's not something bothering me anymore. You know what I'm now interested in? Car. Right? Car is what I'm interested in. And I have a goal of buying. Anyways, I'll come to my own goal. Right? So, enough about me, guys. This is just a story of phones. I have a lot of things, other things in my life that is crazy too. You know? So what's the moral lesson? Another one, hey Victor, I thought network was stopping you. I was saying nothing happened. Another moral lesson to take away from here is that sometimes it go look like say everything there against you, bro. It will look like say what? I didn't even plan to tell this story today. Just Victor that made me remember it. It go look like say what? Everything there against you, bro. Do you get? Because imagine somebody buying a new phone, the biggest moment of his life, highlight of my year, that June that I bought S10 in 2023. And then in October they stole it, and then he bought a new one that is even bigger than the old one, and that new one spoiled within 2 weeks. It can't be like say everything just the. And there's a particular fear that I used to have that time. I used to have a fear. Anytime something goes wrong, I would have this phobia in my heart that I might come down and I'll have to go back to the level of what I used to do before, my manual jobs that I used to do before, my manual jobs, and basically manual jobs physical level. Do you understand? I used to have that fear within me that anytime anything goes bad, I'll have the fear that it might go so bad to the extent I'll have to go back to my manual job. That was a, like, what will I even call it? A monster chasing me in my back. It was always, how will I say in the back of my mind? It was always there. I always have the fear. Hey, anytime something goes on, I'll be like, hey, will I go back to my former situation? Will I go back to my former state of life? Will I go back to where I came from? That kind of thing. Will I go back to basically, I don't know. John said, actually sorry. Exactly. I believe it's not only me that I have that feeling. So it took a long time for me to be able to prove to myself that you deserve this stage you are in, and trust me, you're not going anywhere. It took a long time of proving to myself, backlog of effort and result and effort and result, for me not to have that fear again. Okay, let me even shock you. I'll tell this story in 6th of January when we do the general life section. But reduce, please. But right? But what was I saying? Sometimes when I newly started staying at home fully, I started making money monthly, and I can now fully comfortably stay at home, make money from home. I was so grateful. I'm reliving that day. I was so grateful every waking up day. In fact, I was only listening to gospel song, reduce that stuff, please. Right? I was so grateful. I was so happy. I was so joyous. I don't know, man. You don't know the joy, but I believe every single one of you will experience that joy in 2026. In Jesus' name, say amen. Okay? I pass my blessing down to you. So, when I now started fully, I was not making enough money to fully stay at home, work from home, not go anywhere. It was, oh my God, it was heaven for me. I was more happier when I was making 150k monthly than now that I'm even making 2M or 3M. I was more happy at that time because it was the elevation. Do you get? It was the elevation. What gives you joy is the acceleration from one level to another. That's what will give you joy. It's not entering. When you enter a particular stage, before you know it, you don't forget. You stop being grateful. But going from stage 1 to stage 2, that's what gives joy. That's why they always tell you, process. Focus on the process. The process will give you joy. The acceleration will give you joy. Do you get? Getting things is fun. Having things is not fun. Oh, you have a car. It's not fun. Right? But buying it is fun. Looking towards buying it is fun. But having it is not fun. So sometimes that time I used to go to market. Now I don't even go to market by myself. But that time I used to go to market to buy, one or two snacks and the rest of them, right? And whenever I'm going to market, I'm in the bus because I don't used to drive that time. Is these days that I used to drive. I know how to drive that time, but I don't used to drive because I'm a poor man. I don't get car to drive, right? So that time I used to go to market, and whenever I'm in the bus, like bus go enter market where before they don't find bus stop and drop you. Whenever I'm in the bus and we don't enter the market, I'll just be looking around the window, and I have this sort of gratefulness. I'm a kind of grateful. I'm not English. I don't know how I would say it. Oh my Lord. I had this appreciation in my heart that I had the appreciation and fear at the same time. Both of them was hand in hand. The appreciation was this side, the fear was this side. Fear of, hi, you saw say something no go happen, I'll go back to this level. And the appreciation of, hi, thank God I'm no longer in this level. Oh no, like life is so crazy. The both of them go there, they look you. I have this appreciation that I used to be one of these people under the hot sun, whether to distribute something or when I used to sell ice blocks, I would run around in the morning, early in the morning to distribute the ice block. Then afternoon, I run around to collect the money. Or when I used to do some manual physical job, carrying some heavy irons, 50 kg, 25 kg, and the rest of them. It was basically manual jobs under the sun, right? And I used to, so whenever I'm passing in the market, I'll be so grateful. I'm like, damn, I'm so grateful that I'm not in this level again. Everybody will level up. All of you must level up in Jesus' name. It's a must. You put in the work, you get the required results, right? You reap what you sow, not what you sow. Okay, so everybody must level up. That's the must. That's the must. If you put your head down and keep going 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, that's all you need consistently. So anyways, so that was it. I'm going outside what I wanted to discuss today, Sha. But I'm just talking as I'm led by the Spirit. You feel me? I'm talking as I am led by the Spirit. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about today. So that is it, guys. That is basically it. That my 4 hours live session will not be easy. Yeah? How many hours have I been in this live session? My back don't pain me. How will I do 4 hours? Kai. And the amount of money I'm earning now, do you know the funny thing? That's why some people will never get to a certain stage. The amount of money I'm earning now, there are some people that if they are earning it, they will start celebrating December. They will start doing oblay. Because trust me, the amount of money I make monthly, it's enough for a good amount of oblay. You get? But for me, in my own mind, I've not reached there yet to be able to do oblay in December and the rest of them. So I don't celebrate Christmas because I don't get money. Right? So that being said, right, enough about me, guys. So the topic for today is, you tell me your 2020 shopping list. What would you like to buy in 2020? What is that thing that if you look back by December 2026, if you look back throughout the entire year, you will be like, I'm glad at least I was able to achieve this particular thing. What is that thing? What is that thing? I'm listening, guys. Tell me. What is that thing you would like to achieve by the end of 2026? You like to buy, you like to use your money to do. It's not always about making money. You got to spend that now. And you got to spend that right. You got to spend that correctly. So what is that? Answer me, what is your own? Okay? Now let me tell you my own. Are you listening? Let me tell you my own. In 2025, are you listening? In 2025, my goal in 2025 was, 1, to buy a car. Right? To buy a Lexus Jeep. That's the car in my profile picture. Lexus Jeep. So that was my goal in 2025. Well, initially, it wasn't even LAz Jeep. It was LAz car, ES350. That was my goal in the beginning of 2025. So the goal was one, LAz Jeep. Two, to move to a new apartment, right? And then what was three again? I think three was just money. I don't usually used to stress myself with what to buy or have a goal of what I would like to buy. I don't stress myself with that. I just focus on making money, right? But this was like the majority of the things that I wanted to do. Buy a car, move to a new apartment, food. I wanted to be eating. I wanted to be at a yes. It's food. Food was the third thing I want to achieve. I wanted to achieve in 2025, which is this year. You know, like it's not. Some people say food is either you don't used to eat. I used to eat, but I'm talking about like I wanted every single plate of food, whether I'm eating in the morning or eating in the night or eating in the afternoon, to be like I bought a 50,000 naira food from a restaurant. I want every single plate to be like that. I want my morning food, even if it's pap and akara and the rest of them, right? It's akara, we call it tel. I don't know what you guys call it. Bean cake, I'll be waiting. Nakara, me I know. So even if it's pap and akara, I want it to be so much high quality. Because if you know me, you know I love food. So one of my goals in 2025 was that all my food, every food I eat, will be top notch. If I'm buying chicken, I'll not buy old layers. I'll buy broiler or parent stock. Do you feel me? Like food, right? And then coming to drink, I can drink anything I want. That's why some of you will see me come to the live session on Capison. I have like carton of it. 2 carton. That's what I bought that time. Right? So that was my goal in 2025. High quality food. Not just like good food or anything. High quality, sharp food. And of course, high quality food comes with high quality prices. Number 2 was buying a car, a Lexus ES350. Then later I switched to Lexus RS 350. That was my goal. And then 3, moving to my new apartment. Now I achieved 2 of this, and I don't achieve 1 in 2025. Right? One of the goal, moving to a new apartment, I achieved it. I'm in my new apartment now. I'm still furnishing it. To furnish they very expensive, bro. Nobody tell me, bro. To furnish an apartment is oh my god, bro. It's incredibly expensive. And we're going to like 4M to furnish my apartment. I'm not ready to spend any 4M anywhere, guy. I'm still trying to grow the community. So when I'm done growing the community, I'm gonna start spending a lot of money on other things. So that was my goal in 25. Moved to a new apartment. I achieved that. High quality food, credibly high quality. Achieved that, but I did not achieve buying a new car. Right? But at least I have a car that I'm driving, right? I have a car I'm driving currently, right? But it's not like the Lexus that I wanted. It's not a new Lexus that I wanted. So, but it's still something. But it's not. I don't count that as my achievement. Okay. So that is it for 2025. Bilo, they want to buy S24 Ultra. You know how much they sell them? Now 1 million. No. Bilo say you won't buy S24 Ultra. Bilo, now 1 million. No. Right? Anyways, now you might ask me, okay, LAz B, you had 3 major goals in 2025. You achieved 2, you didn't achieve 1. What is your 2026 goal? My 2026 goal is to buy 2 cars. Listen, that's my 2026 goal. Buy 2 cars, move to a duplex, right? So that's for you to know the kind of person I am. I literally just moved to my apartment a few months ago, and I'm already talking about moving to a duplex. Yes, I don't wait. I don't spend any time in any level. Once I reach that level, I'm already planning of a new one. I'm already planning of a new level. So my goal in 2026 is buying 2 cars. That's the major one, right? Then making 20 million a month, right? 20 million a month consistently, or 30 million a month, as the case may be, right? Then Olufemi say nobody wants to buy iPhone. That's because iPhone is rubbish. If you are a smartphone, and anybody that is into make money online, if you are using iPhone to make money online, you will fail. You might not fail, but it will stress you. Like iPhone is very stressful, so it's better you go for Samsung. All right. So listen, my goal, my own goal for 2026 is buy 2 cars, 20 million monthly, and then moving to a duplex. That's my goal. And of course, I will pay more attention to my clothes in 2026. Like, I'll buy a lot of new clothes in 2026. In fact, I'm already making plans to sew suits. You know suits now. I'll sew a few number of suits in 2026, at least 10. And each suit, based on what they are telling me, is 250k for one suit. So to sew 10 at 2.5. But that's my goal. You know, it's not part of my goal. Like, my major goal is buying 2 cars, making 20 million a month, and moving to a duplex. Right? Now, you might say buying 2 cars. What do I mean by 2 cars? One of the cars is going to be for my dad, and one of the cars is going to be for me. So for my dad, a Mercedes C-Class, and then for me, a Lexus RS350. Musa say iPhone will be this, you will cry for video editing. Exactly. iPhone will show you paper. Do you know I know what iPhone users are facing that are using CapCut. Some of the iPhone users that bought CapCut Pro from us, I know what they are facing. Every day an issue. Like, at some point, very soon, we'll stop selling to iPhone users. Like, if you say you're iPhone user, I will not give you CapCut. Because I'm tired of you guys' problem. The same CapCut will give you. I'm not even talking about the clone version. I'm talking about the normal CapCut. Normal CapCut. But still, iPhone users will have issue. Yeah? iPhone, don't be saying the phone are not issue. The phone is good. You get? But if you want to do video editing, it will stress you. Especially if you don't get money, iPhone will stress you. What about if I tell you to download an app that will help you, but the app is not on Apple Store? What you go do? Think about it. So anyways, that's my goal for 2026. I've told you guys. They say move in silence. Don't tell people your goal. I don't tell you my goal. If you like, go meet my village people. So what is you guys' goal? What is your own goal for 2026? What is that thing you want to buy? What is your shopping list? Man. What's the shopping list? I don't know talk again. I go shut down the life with my back, they pay me. What's your goal for 2026? Somebody say, boss, go the Aura farm. For sure now, when you see me in my suit, hey, don't worry. No, I go pay 250k for suit, I no go Aura farm. They whine me. No, they whine me like that too. No, they whine me like that. No, they whine me like that too. No, they whine me like that.